our side's still silent.
Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks.
What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron.
It's been close to 5 years since the disastrous Ace Combat Infinity launched on the PlayStation 3. Given that the 7th generation of consoles were the most difficult period for most gaming IPs, a new Ace Combat seemed like a distant dream. However, the latest game in the series, Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, takes the series back to its roots by delivering one of the best games in the series. Although it doesn't really topple Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies as the best game in the franchise. Regardless, the end product provides an extremely satisfying Ace Combat experience that should make fans of the series happy. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, unlike previous games in the series, doesn't run on Project Ace's proprietary engine, but instead utilizes Epic Games' Unreal Engine 4, and the results are pretty satisfying.
I'm in his blind spot. He's mine. So, drones don't feel the G-force, huh?
Good to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
The very first thing we want to talk about is the cloud technology in the game. Clouds are no longer just there for artistic reasons, but they also serve as a gameplay mechanic. The clouds have physics parameters, which affect the drag and acceleration of the aircraft, thereby creating air pressure differences resulting in turbulence. Besides your visibility getting limited and the formation of water vapors on glass surfaces, the aircraft's missile tracking system will also get affected. So the clouds act as physical barriers in the game, and the tech implemented here is definitely something that excites us for future Ace Combat games. Furthermore, it's great to see cloud tech treated with utmost care in some recent games. We had some bright examples from last year in the form of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which pushed cloud rendering in different ways, and it's great to see Ace Combat 7 pushing it by giving its own unique spin.
Caution, hostile at the radar lock.
The power of Unreal Engine 4 has also allowed developers to render some incredible-looking weather systems. Lightning, rain, along with various volumetric effects like wind, and alpha effects like fire, all look great. Seeing enemy aircrafts getting blown to bits is as satisfying as seeing the smoke trail formed by incoming or outgoing missiles. Aircrafts, too, have been meticulously crafted with detailed interiors and material shaders, giving them an authentic look and feel. Thanks to physics-based rendering and advancements in lighting tech, Ace Combat 7 can look beautiful at times. However, there are a couple of areas where Ace Combat 7 falters, technically. First of all, an intensive anti-aliasing solution is completely lacking across all 3 versions of the game. What we have in place is a higher quality FXAA solution, and to be honest, it doesn't do a great job at smoothing the edges. This results in inconsistent image quality at times, as one can clearly see jaggies on nearby objects like the aircraft's wings. Next up is the pop-in issue, which also affects all 3 versions. The map size in Ace Combat 7 is huge, and the various objects in them are pretty detailed, but given that this is a game that is not really pushing the hardware, we were not expecting pop-in issues. Now let's take a look at how the game runs on PC, PS4 Pro, and Xbox One X. As always, let's take a look at the PC version first.
Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. The situation is tight. It's a hell of a homecoming party, but we are tricking you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Hear that? Column Squadron and your wingmen are airborne. Take off and form up with Mage.
The developers recommend an Intel Core i5-7500, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, and 8GB of memory. We used our usual test PC, which includes a GTX 1080 Ti, 16GB of GDDR4 memory, and Ryzen 1700 CPU. The graphical settings include VSync, frame rate limit, bloom, motion blur, scaling of resolution up to 200%, anti-aliasing, shadow quality, texture quality, effects quality, post-processing, and screen space reflection reflection quality. As expected, we had no issues running the game on our test PC at a rock-solid 60 frames per second. On the console front, the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X have no 4K checkerboard or a dynamic resolution in place. Instead, the game is locked at 1080p resolution. Both versions target 60 FPS and for the most part manage to run at that standard. However, we were quite disappointed that the Xbox One X manages only a mere 1080p resolution. The console is definitely powerful enough to run a game like Ace Combat 7 in full native 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Regardless, this is the current situation on the Xbox One X, and to be honest, the overall situation on Microsoft's console is rather underwhelming. Both versions are largely similar in terms of core assets and other parameters, so we're not sure what went wrong with the Xbox One X build.
Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat.
Seems to be crazy to pick a fight with us. A rabid dog would know better.
Missile incoming! Evade! Break! Break!
What the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft stay alert.
In comparison with the PC build, both other versions suffer from reduced texture filtering and shadow quality. Furthermore, the ability to scale the resolution up to 200% on PC manages to reduce the aliasing issues by a bit. In conclusion, the PC version of Ace Combat 7 is clearly the best version to play. With its superior rendering resolution and better visual parameters, it's a cut above the console versions. The PS4 Pro version, on the other hand, does what it's expected to do: a solid 1080p and 60 FPS experience coupled with great visual parameters. The Xbox One X version isn't bad by any means, but it clearly lacks the focus that was given to the other two platforms. Perhaps Project Aces invested more of their time into the PS4 version due to additional VR support. But whatever the reason, the Xbox One X is a much more capable machine, but it clearly wasn't put to full use in this game. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos.
One remaining.
H2, keep your